I think we are live. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday to you. I hope that you're enjoying a great. It's a beautiful day here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I know many places are quarantined. We're not exactly in quarantine level here, but they are suggesting that people just stay home, enjoy your family, and do things around your house and your neighborhood. But I hope that you are enjoying a good day wherever you're tuning in from. And I thought it would be fun to just share a couple of really good messages because positive feelings, positive vibes are really what I'm all about, and I love sharing it. And I think it's what we need right now to really stay focused on all the good stuff that still is here, because there's so much, no matter what's happening with the crazy coronavirus. But I'm going to go ahead and invite a few friends. But let me show you first before I do that, because you might want to invite a few friends as well. So I picked up this great little book. Sometimes I have this long list of things that I want to read, and maybe you do too, that are like personal development or business related. And I saw this really cute little book called Better Thinking Day by Day, and it's 100 devotions to improve your thoughts and your life. And I thought, one of the things I love about using social media platforms is not only for branding and getting our messages out, but for sharing goodness and love and all the wonderful things. Sometimes we see our news feed can be so filled with negative things and fear-based things. And how wonderful would it be if all of us just started sharing really joyful things, blissful things, happy things, positive things, encouraging things. So I wanted to just take a little time. I don't know if I'm going to do this every day or maybe every Friday, because it is Freedom Friday. But I just wanted to be able to use my social media platform to encourage other people. And so I found this great little book, and I'm going to be sharing today. So it's, again, Better Thinking Day by Day. And I'm going to take you through a little bit of the information, because this little book is like a real treasure. I just stumbled upon it. It wasn't recommended by a friend. I didn't see anybody else read it. I just saw it and just scanned through it and said, you know what? I'm going to do this. This is going to be my assignment during quarantine. Hey, Lori. Hey, Tammy. So if you know anybody that needs encouragement, or maybe is stuck in a home, maybe it's a mom with a bunch of kids, or one of your good friends, or a parent, or an aunt, or an uncle, go ahead and invite them to this, or you can tag them in the comments below. If by chance you're watching play, let me know that as well, because that will give me a good pulse on whether I continue to do these or not. So let me just invite some friends myself. And while I'm doing that, those that have joined, why don't you go ahead and put in the comments where you're tuning in from. And let me just click off a couple of friends here. But it's a beautiful day here. I've already gone out for a couple of walks. It is in the 80s here in Charlotte. And spring is definitely here, definitely here. Oh, you know what? I was going to share too a really fun thing that I saw on my walk today. Have you ever heard of this little project where you get little rocks and you paint them, and maybe you just paint them pretty, or you paint good messages on the rocks? Well, today on my walk with Ziggy, I actually found a couple of them, and someone actually put it on my mailbox, and I thought, oh my God, how fun. Like if my kids were little, I would so be doing that. I would go around the lake and collect a bunch of nice kind of more flat surface rocks and have the kids paint them and put positive messages on them, or just like smile or be happy or have a great day, or maybe a scripture verse reference on it or something like that, and then just kind of spread them out. But I saw two today on my walk with Ziggy, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is what we are made of, guys. The goodness, the love, the compassion for people. And I know one thing that I've really enjoyed seeing is that in my neighborhood, we have like a lake where I walk pretty much every day, typically 2 to 3 times a day. And I have seen more dads out there playing with their kids. And I have seen more couples holding hands, walking around the lake. And it has been, just for me, I notice the little things in life, because it is the little things that are the big things in life. They really can set the tone for your day, for your emotional state, for your mental state. So I love noticing all the little beautiful things around me. And I have seen such a tremendous upheaval in all of that in my neighborhood. Have you guys been seeing that? Have you seen more kids outside riding bikes? Have you seen more kids just playing and writing the old school like chalk, TikTok games and all that kind of stuff on the ground. If you have, let me hear what you guys have been seeing. Let me see. Hi, Cindy. Lisa Lupo, hi. Tammy Greenspan says hi. River rocks, is that what they're called? You, Cindy? Cindy says she paints them as well. Because I thought, that would be really a fun project to do. Like, we're all going to be sitting home. I mean, I went out. Here's some of the things I did. I went out and bought a fresh deck of cards. So we're going to be doing old school rummy and old school gin and old school poker games. I also got some of those little books that I used to get my boys where it was like word search, just things that keep you moving. I mean, I definitely have a home-based business, which is great. But my husband is now home too. So I'm having to take a little bit of a different direction on some of my day-to-day activities because he's here. But what are your ideas? What are you guys doing during this state to add some fun to your day, some adventure to your day? Definitely home exercise. I know the other day I went to the gym. If you saw it on my news and my stories, I actually went there and I was supposed to go earlier in the day. And it was like, I kept getting phone calls and things like that. And when I got to the gym, they actually were literally just locking the door. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I'd just been there like an hour earlier, I could have gotten one more workout in. But then it gets the creative juices flowing. And I, as a trainer, have all kinds of equipment at my home. And of course, I have a Pilates studio with thousands of dollars worth of equipment. So, it's just kind of refocusing and recentering on my physical activity. Let's see what people are saying here. Cindy says, yes. Sherry says, hi. Aw, thank you, Sherry. She said I'm such a bright light. I appreciate that. I really, I remember one time, I think one of the best compliments that I've ever gotten was somebody said that they could see Jesus in my eyes. They could see Jesus through me. And that was like, honestly, the best compliment that anybody could ever say to anybody else. So thank you. I'm glad that that I am a bright light for you. So I want to share with you this book because I don't want these to be really long because I'm going to be doing these, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to commit to doing this daily, but my hope is that I can encourage you guys and breathe life into a portion of your week somehow, some way. So that's going to be my goal during this quarantine time is to hop on live more and just have some conversation. So I love all of the hearts that you guys send and all of the good emojis and your comments because that lets me know that I'm hitting the target of what I should be doing to share some joy into this world, right? Because that's what leaders do. All right, so let me put on my bright red glasses. Hi, Mark. How are you today? All right, here we go. So Janine is from Wisconsin. Oh, Janine, is it cold there still? Because I know some of my friends in other parts of the country are having like snow today. All right, so I'm going to start in this book. Again, it's called Better Thinking Day by Day. And I'm just going to read just 2 parts to you. And then if you guys have any thoughts that you would like to add, please put them in the comments because I know that people probably will go through this live and just kind of scan through the comments. And I know I definitely will. I try to always respond to my audience and always give feedback to the feedback that you guys have given me. Hey, Nicole, I hope you're having a good day. I saw you're on the lake, girl. Looked like a lot of fun today. All right. So this is the first portion of, again, this book called Better Thinking Day by Day. And I want you to, I've already read through this, so I'll kind of go through a little bit of a highlight, but it has such good content in it about our thoughts because we know this. We know that what we focus on, we find, focus on, we move toward, and what we focus on grows. Now that could be a good thing, like how many people can you help? Who can you share your toilet paper with or whatever, right? Or it can be something bad like, oh my God, this coronavirus, it's scary. And then you start reading all of the bad statistics. Do you know there's a 97% rate of recovery? But we don't always hear that. We hear of all of the negativity and the scary parts of it. So our thoughts are powerful. Our thoughts are very, very powerful. And so are our words. And whether it's a spoken word, words that we put in our own head. I mean, the Bible tells us there's life and death within the tongue. So choose wisely what your thoughts are and the things that you're speaking out. And so this book just starts out here. It says, thoughts are intensely powerful things. Your thoughts have the power to lift you up or to drag you down. They have the power to energize you or deplete you. Think about that. I know people in my life that I try to keep my circle tight with powerful people that vibrate at a high level, that live in a life of abundance, even if it's just within their thoughts, because again, thoughts become things. And have you ever been with somebody and they just walk in the room and it's that person that just can suck the air out of a room, just suck the oxygen out of it? Like, we don't want to be around those people, so we definitely don't want to be that person. But our thoughts can actually take us there. Our thoughts can really deplete where we are and where we're headed in our lives. So be careful on your thoughts. It says to deplete, inspire you to greater accomplishments or make those accomplishments impossible. Paul Valery observed, we hope vaguely. This is a good one. We hope vaguely, but dread precisely. Like, really marinate on that. How much energy do you give to hope? Do you give it much, or do you hope vaguely? Like, oh, I just hope it's going to be a nice day. Oh, I hope I feel good. Oh, I hope, this or that. But then we can dread, and it could be precise and so much energy and so exact. These are the people that I'm talking about, the people that can actually literally pull oxygen from a room when they walk into it. And so we really don't want to hope vaguely, and we really don't want to dread precisely. Instead, we really need to flip that. We need to flip our thinking to more positivity, and that's what you'll move to. How true, all too often we allow the worries of everyday life to overwhelm our thoughts and cloud our vision. This is so appropriate for what's happening right now globally. What's needed is clearer perspective, renewed faith, and a different focus. The Bible teaches us to guard our thoughts against things that are hurtful and wrong. Proverbs 4:23. Yet sometimes our emotions can be hijacked by everyday stressors or by the general negativity that seems to characterize 21st century life. Again, it's so relevant to what we're going through right now. But it doesn't have to be that way, because, your thoughts and your perspective are yours, and you have a choice on them. I've always said your perspective is your reality, and everybody has a different perspective for how things are going to happen. A few days ago, I posted what my is on this whole coronavirus. You know what my perspective is? I believe, and I truly do believe this, I believe because of this coronavirus and people being, not being able to go to work and having to stay around house, I believe more inventions are going to come our way. I believe more great things are going to come our way, because brilliant minds take situations and really opportunities like this, and they thrive on them. They take lemons and they make lemonade out of it. In fact, some of the most brilliant minds, this is how inventions and technology are born. It's from the kid that got stuck in their bedroom, and now they are a brilliant, programmer. You think of some of the great work of classical music. And many of them, like from Beethoven, was when they were locked in rooms or in psychiatric wards. So I really do believe that this is going to be the birth of some amazing new technology, amazing new things that are going to come our way, from banking to e-commerce, to think about what's happening to our educational system. In fact, with all the schools being closed down and people going to online classes, just yesterday, I heard an ad on the radio for a college, and I love the way they said it, because they weren't talking about online classes. They had a whole new way of putting it, that this is digital education. And it was basically online classes, but the way they worded it, like they were the number one school for online classes. So I do think so much brilliance is going to be born out of this. I think we're going to see so many new things. I think we're going to see a lot of new babies come December, but I do think also we're going to see a lot of really great new systems and things come out of all of this. And again, it's perspective, it's your thinking that matters. Even for me, like, I'm thinking of new ways that I can work out at home. Again, I got stuck into the rat race of the gym and I was like, oh, when it closed. But, I've got jump ropes, I've got a rebounder, I can walk, I can run, I can do jumping jacks. There's just so many new things that I can do to expand myself. And it's situations just like this that force us into that. Hi, Dee Dee. Thanks for hopping on. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Mark. All right. And so after that scripture, it says, the idea in this book are intended to help you think constructively about yourself, about your circumstances, your faith, and your future. And each devotional reading is intended to remind you that God remains in his heaven and that you are protective. God never changes. He is there for today, tomorrow, yesterday, and for eternity. And you know what, guys? None of this was a surprise to him. This is like, so he has already split the Red Sea. He knows what's going to happen with all of this. And this is the beauty of situations like this, because ultimately God is still in control. He never has relinquished that. He loves us unconditionally. And all of this is going to work out for our good and his glory. And that's Romans 8:28. That was kind of a little intro, but I'm going to next kind of go over some of these 8 principles for thinking better thoughts. You ready? If you're taking notes, and if you want to, again, you can save this and listen to this over and over a few times so that it can sink in, because we know that repetition is how we learn things, and repetition is how things sink into us. All right, so here we go. The 8 principles of thinking better thoughts. Number 1. Stay morally and spiritually time with God every day. Pray about big decisions and listen carefully to your conscience. Your adversary wants to behave impulsively and make poor decisions. God wants you to behave rationally and make wise decisions. Trust God. Okay, so number 1, stay morally and spiritually grounded. What a great time to stay in the Word of God, to listen to praise and worship, and to actually even go in prayer every single day, maybe with your family or your kids. Number 2, monitor your thoughts and dispute the exaggerated beliefs that lead to unproductive thinking. Not all thoughts are created equal. A simple way to improve the quality of your thoughts is to recognize and then make the conscious effort to reject irrational, exaggerated, or unhelpful thoughts. I have a friend by the name of Danielle, and she's just been a great mentor of mine. And one of the cute things that she has taught me is, just not me specifically, but has taught all of us, is when we have a negative thought, to go delete, delete, delete. So if you say something bad about yourself, or you say something bad maybe about your spouse, who knows, in a week, we all might be doing the same, right? But to say delete, delete, delete. And a lot of times the enemy loves to come in and plant those, you're not good enough, you don't deserve that, you're so unworthy, who do you think you are, why do you think you should get that, why do you think you should be successful? All of those are words from the devil, and they're thoughts that kind of dance around in our head. So if you ever have that opportunity to go delete, 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 and replace it with, I am worthy, I am created in the image of God, I am successful. That's what you need to do. And so that's kind of like monitoring your thoughts and dispute the exaggerated beliefs that lead to unproductive thinking. So use that technique. If you have a bad thought, like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills through this, go delete, 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 and say, I live in the land of abundance. God provides all of my needs, and everything is going to work out for my good and his glory. And so that's how you will replace those negative or unproductive, as this book says, thoughts. All right, I'm going to move on. It says more, but I'm going to move on. All right, so here's number 3. Be realistic. Be a realistic optimist. On the road of life, chronic pessimism is a dead-end street. Remember the person that I said do you have any of those people in your life that just suck the oxygen, like everything they worry about? They're pessimistic about everything. They always see the glass half empty. They never see it half full. They're not solutions-driven people. They're more of a problem-driven people. They tend to talk more about the problems than they do the solutions. We all have those people in our lives. I know I do, and it's pretty common because honestly, that's the plane that a lot of people live on. So what we want to do is, on the road of life, to not really let those kind of people dig into our lives. So don't invent imaginary catastrophes catastrophes. Oh my God, hello, social media, right? Do not invent imaginary catastrophes and be open to the possibility that good things will happen and that they're going to happen soon. I do believe that. I think that some amazing things are going to come out of all of this craziness right now. And I really sincerely do. Forever a realistic sense of self-confidence and avoid worst case thinking. Again, hello, what's happening right now? Whatever your circumstances, say no to pessimism and yes to hope. Oh my God, that should be a hashtag right there. Say no to pessimism and yes to hope. Maybe we all should start our social media campaigns, right? That just is absolutely an amazing way to live. So say no to pessimism and yes to hope. All right, here we go. Number 4, make peace with your past and forgive everybody. I've been there. I've had to learn and walk through that forgiveness, that whole kind of journey of forgiveness, because it's real. A lot of people walk around in unforgiveness, and I won't even get started on that because then I'll go into the preach mode. But unforgiveness, you are the victim. You forever have the chains around your neck, around your wrists, and around your feet. Unforgiveness will lock you down and lock out so much goodness in your life and the blessings that God has for you. So don't feed into unforgiveness. Forgive and let it go. So make peace with your past and forgive everybody. Bitterness is intellectual poison. If you remain stuck in the past, you'll spoil the present and sabotage the future. So forgive everybody, including yourself, immediately and permanently. And if you can't seem to forgive, keep praying about it until you can. Simple enough, right? All right, here we go. Number 5, learn to accept the things you cannot change and work instead on the things you can change. Refuse to fret over the things you cannot control. And there's so many of them. And again, the coronavirus and things that are happening right now, this is part of it. Like, we can't control this, but our perspective on this and how we handle this and how we manage our mind and our thoughts and our emotions, that's what's going to bring the victory for all of us and bring us out on the other side, whether this is 4 weeks down the road or 3 months down the road. I mean, who knows? But do your best and let God take care of the rest. All right, number 6, coming around the corner here. Learn to control your emotions before they control you. I've taught my boys this, and boys aren't as bad as girls. I understand that, but do not be an emotional wreck. Don't wear your emotions on your sleeve like they were a piece of jewelry, like a watch or a bracelet. So many people do, and they just, as the Bible says, they just kind of flail through life like the blowing wind. Don't be that kind of person where your emotions take charge of how you think and even how you treat other people. See, here's what it says. Exaggerated thoughts have a way of revving up your emotions. Road rage, right? And emotional outpourings can have bitter, bitter consequences. So if you feel your emotional temperature beginning to rise, and it's gonna, call time out before you erupt, not after. True wisdom is knowing how to step away from a combustible situation before it ignites. So again, don't be emotional roller coaster. People don't like to be around those kind of people. People like to be around steady people who are in control of themselves. And so whenever the kids were little, and they would be like, going crazy, I'd be like, get yourself together. Control your emotions. And many times when they were younger, I'd say, go to your room until your emotions are under control. And no matter what it was, maybe their brother hit them or stole one of their trucks from them, we're going to deal with it. But until then, go to your room, collect your emotions, and then we'll have a conversation and fix the problem. So do not allow your emotions to take control of you. Number 7, be thankful and learn to live in the precious present. Oh my God. You know, that alone, just when I found those rocks today, just seeing the little good things within the day, living in the present. Don't think about the past or what it was like last week and the toilet paper was on the shelf. I posted a funny yesterday. It was a throwback Thursday. And it was a picture of toilet paper and paper products on a shelf. I mean, ha, ha, ha. But the important thing is to live in the precious present because God has so many rich, abundant blessings for all of us. Learn to focus on your blessings, not your hardships. Could this be any more appropriate? The Lord has given you more blessings than you can count, but it never hurts to try. And while you're trying to make an inventory of God's gifts, remember Psalms 118:24. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. What a great way to live, and what a great Bible verse to start your day with every day. All right, the final one on number 8, principles of thinking better thoughts. Number 8 is if your thoughts seem seriously distorted, seek help ASAP. This is very important because with everything that's going on, people could have emotions that they might not be able to manage on their own. People might have thoughts that they might not be able to manage on their own. And we want to make sure that if you know somebody maybe who is like that, check in on them. Let them know that they're not alone. Let them know that they could come to you for a chat, a phone call, a text message, or a Facebook message. I mean, we're living in this digital world, and I'm sitting here reading a book to you on Facebook digitally. And what a great way to use formats like this and platforms like this to spread hope and love and to truly be there for people. Next week I'll be posting on my Thursday, Prayer Closet Thursday, where I'll be going into prayer and just lifting up everybody. And so stay tuned for that post about a week from now, next Thursday, so that you can put in a comment or you can private message me if you have anything that's going on in your life and you'd like some encouraging words or you'd like some prayer. I take that very seriously. I'm a prayer warrior. My mom taught me and raised me to be that kind of Christian, godly woman, to be a Christian, godly entrepreneur and leader. And so I take that very, very seriously. So stay tuned for that. And of course, after this, if you need any prayer or encouragement, then feel free to message me as well. You don't have to put it in the comments. I get it. But knowing that there's open doors. So again, number 8 on your thoughts. If your thoughts seem seriously distorted, seek help. Sometimes faulty thinking has psychological causes. I think of the people that have committed suicide, right? I think of the people that have given up on so much hope for themselves that it's distortion, guys. They can't see clearly. And it even goes back to the one that I read about, don't allow your emotions to get the very best of you. Thankfully, medical conditions like depression or bipolar disorder are readily treatable. So if there's any questions about the state of your mental health, seek help immediately. Help is available if you ask for it. So ask. So these are the 8 principles of better thinking from this book right here. And again, I'm going to be sharing from it on a regular basis. That's basically how I'll say it. And I will usually put a Facebook post up when I do a live like this so that you can have an alert. And you can always turn on your notifications if you like content like this. This is the kind of stuff I live by. I teach my business partners, my team in my business world. This is the kind of leader that I am. And I really want to be able to bring this and use the platform of Facebook to be able to bring hope and life and breathe life into other people and to breathe encouragement into other people. So stay tuned. The next part of this is going to be the very first devotional of 100 devotions, and it's called Guard Your Thoughts and Guide Your Thoughts. So stay tuned for all of that. So guys, thank you for hopping on my Facebook Live. I hope you have a great weekend. And remember, get outside, get some fresh air. If you're quarantined, obey the rules. We don't want to spread this anymore. But if you're able to, even in your backyard or back porch or balcony, or open a window. At night, one of the things that I do at night is after I do my I am journaling, where I do all my I am affirmations. I literally write them out. I do some yoga. And then in my office here, I have a big pane of windows, and I open the windows, and I go out. I have like a little awning outside my window, and I sit in my windowsill and I look up at the stars. I say a prayer. I breathe in some deep breaths of fresh air, and I have my blanket sometimes wrapped around me, and I just literally sit just outside my window pane and just capture some of the beauty of the nightfall. So even if that's all that you can do during this time of crazy quarantine thanks to the coronavirus, do it. Get some fresh air in your lungs, get moving, do a couple of jumping jacks, push-ups, squats, whatever it is. But remember, the more that you move, the healthier that your body is going to be, both physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So thank you guys for hopping on. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Todd. Hey, Lauren. I'll give a couple of last shout outs. Hey, Pam. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Audrey. Hey, Amy. So thanks for being here, guys. God bless you. Remember, if you know of anybody who might be able to be blessed from a message like this, feel free to share. You can tag them or you can share it on your timeline. So I'll see you later. Have a great weekend. Bye.